Hello, this is Rakesh Rao from Design Sense Software Technologies, Bangalore, and this is my first video of CAD Power running on the ZWCAD 2025 Standard Edition. So let me start with whole table command. So in CAD Power, we have a command in the draw section under rule-based subheading. It's called draw whole table. You can run this command from the command line also by typing cp_whole table. So this command requires a closed polygon as a whole table frame. So let me start with this closed frame here, which contains a number of circles and some polygons as well. So I'm going to select this frame. So you get the whole table menu. Now in this whole table menu, there are a couple of things that you need to know. The first one is the export file. The whole table information is exported as a CSV file so that it can be easily imported into Excel. There's also an export format which by default is CSV, and there are two other sub formats for manufacturing, milling XY and Siemens subprogram. So we have designed this program to be open so that if you have a specific machine which requires a special format, then you can tell us the details of that format and we will be happy to incorporate that into this command. So it's something like a post processor which creates customized output formats. The next important parameter is the dimensioning method, and by default now I'm going to select linear from origin. Draw center marks is on. Create dimension line extension from center of hole, I'm going to leave this switched off. The initial dimension distance and the next dimension distance determine the distance from the edge of the frame where the dimensions should be drawn. So I'm just leaving it at 75 and 90 based on measurements which I've already done. You can also sort the holes in either X and Y directions, in the positive or negative directions as well. And you can also specify whether you want numeric numbering or character numbering for the holes. Say for example, I'm going to say character and say starting value is A, then I get the holes named A, B, C, D and so on. I'm setting 20 as a label height, 2 as a precision, and I'm going to create the label IDs ballooned out. Okay, so I'm ready to go now. I'm just going to click OK. Pick origin point. By default it is the lower left corner of the frame, which is marked with a red square here. So I just enter. Pick a point on the x-axis of the whole table. So I'm going to pick this end point here. So you can see that already the dimensions have been created, which are linear from origin. The whole annotations have been also drawn like A, B, C, D, what we specified. Now it's asking for the whole table position. So I'm going to pick this point here. Do you want to scale? I'll say yes, and I want to scale by 50. That's fine. So I get these 4 whole tables here. Let me just adjust it so that they are next to each other. So if you look at this whole table, CAD tables created here. So the first one is a table which contains the circular shapes. So it tells you which whole IDs represent circular shapes, their X and Y coordinates and the diameter. Then there is a polygonal shapes table which gives you the polygonal area and the centroidal dimensions and also which holes fall into that. Then there is a quantity table. So quantity table tells you how many circles of a particular diameter, and similarly quantity table for polygonal shapes tell you how many polylines with a certain area are present in this frame. Now if you look at the folder, this is the file it has created, ht.csv. So you can see that the whole table has been exported as an Excel CSV file as well. So it makes it easy for you to export your data into CSV or visualize it inside your drawing as a CAD table. So most of the CAD Power commands are designed to export their data in CSV format so that it makes it easy for you to work with Excel. Now let us look at a different way of creating this whole chart. Now, not always you will have circles and polygons. Sometimes you may just have points. So for example, this is a frame with some points on it, and you want to create a reference table or a whole chart for it. So we classify even this kind of data into a whole chart category. So we can go here to whole table, select this. Now there are some existing annotations from a previous run, so I'm just going to delete it and leave all this as it is. So instead of linear, I'm just going to change the dimensioning method as ordinate in place, and let's see what happens now. So origin point is this one, and the point on the X scale factor is this one. So pick point to place whole table. So I'm going to pick a point here. We want to scale it, yes. Scale factor is 50. So you can see that next to the whole, now there is an X and Y dimension, and that is measured from the origin here. Now the origin block is a little too big. That is because probably the insertion units are not correct, but it's simple. You can just select this block and change the X and Y scale factors, and it's going to come to the size that you are comfortable with. So if I come back here and open this, you can see there's a whole table of points, and these are the whole IDs, these are the XY, and the remarks are mentioned just as remarks. You can edit it because this is a normal table. Now the same information is once again in Excel as well. So like I said, all data from CAD Power, eventually, to the extent possible, it is saved as Excel format. Now in some cases we have observed people having blocks as part of your whole table information. They use blocks with they use blocks with attributes because it is sometimes important to display the attribute value in the whole table. So for example, we have a block here called slot, and there is an attribute called part name, and it has different attributes like A220, 221, 222, and so on, and it is all inside a whole frame. So this can also be a candidate for the whole table computation. By the way, it's also available in the ribbon. So if you go to the CAD Power ribbon, you can get the whole table command here. So I will show that to you in a bit. So first let us just do it this way. So when you use blocks and attributes, make sure to select your block and select your attribute name, and then that's the origin, and this is the x-axis point. So you can see here the quantity table for blocks. Block attributes are now shown with their values and their quantity. So how many times each block attribute is repeating, that is shown here in the quantity. So that's how the whole table works in ZWCAD 2025. So like I said, this is the first video we are making of a CAD Power command running on ZWCAD. It runs equally well on all the platforms, all DWG platforms supported like AutoCAD, BricsCAD, and there is Kavada and ZWCAD as well. Thank you for watching this video, and do let me know if you have any questions.